This is the Outlaw Inn, the Best Western Outlaw Inn off of 80 in Rock Springs, Wyoming. It's got kind of just a classic vaulted, little bit of a Western theme, but the inside is something else. They've got rooms on the outside, but most of their rooms are on the inside. It was renovated. I can't remember, in early 2000, maybe earlier than that. But it was built in 1966, and the gentleman was inspired by the Interstate 80 being constructed close by, and he wanted to take advantage of that for travelers. The lobby of the Outlaw Inn. And you can start to see the inside structure, indoor structure, where the rest of the rooms are. It's a very, very cool spot. When you come into the hotel after the lobby, there's two sections of the hotel. The one on the left with rooms down below and above, and the pool area, an entertaining area, and then the right side, which is just concrete, like for an event space, with stairs down on both sides. Here's the indoor pool area. We've got a little gym. This is our room right here. Has a very cool indoor pool area, and the whole of this side is vaulted. The other side is vaulted too. It's just a very striking building on the inside. And on the right side of the hotel, on the other side of that huge center post, we're on the other side. There's the upper entertaining area. And they have this huge, like, event space with rooms all around. Great in the winter time, probably. And inside here is what used to be the restaurant. They used to have their own restaurant, but it was the breakfast area for guests. The most unusual thing about the rooms is that the front are all glass. So you could pull back the curtains completely and have lots of natural light coming in on this side. Very 60s. Didn't expect to see this much in the way of rock formations in Wyoming. Little tourist cabins from the 1920s. This is in Fort Bridger, Wyoming. Here's an example of one of the little tourist cabins Kind of hard to see. This is a little cluster of cabins, tourist cabins from the 20s and 30s that they have right alongside Fort Bridger, which is the state historical site. There's a trading post in the 1800s. The season is winding down for tourism, so the places we're going to now at the end of September are fairly quiet. It's really pretty here. We're at 6,300 feet elevation. This is the first schoolhouse in Wyoming. This is the schoolhouse at Fort Bridger. This is the front parlor for the officers' quarters for Fort Bridger. Here's an example of officers' quarters. This might have been the captain. That's where we just came from, those buildings there, and the officers' quarters right there, and there would have been barracks along that walkway there. That's a modern bandstand that was added. And then there's more buildings, including a museum up ahead. But we cross this little bridge with this sweet little stream running through it. So sweet. Here's the inside of the guardhouse. General detention cell.
Well, you think the commander served that? They're happy with that? No. So when they got money to build the guard house, what do you think they did? They made sure this was going to have all the people.
Looks like this might have been solitary confinement. Are all the kids in the guard locked in the cell? There's a school tour that's going on, and he just locked him in the cell, the big detention cell. Looks like these are three. They might be reconstructions.
Typically, the longest sentence you would get in
So
here
there's a
would be
cell.
about 5 days.
You can hear them through the grate up above the docent. But there's it's a cell inside the house. So there's a walkway all the way around the general detention cell.
So we got 12 of you locked up. How many buckets do you think you get? One bucket, and all 12 of you get to use that same bucket.
Here's a view from the outside of the officers' quarters. This is where we are along Highway 80, and then you just pull off a little bit to the south, about 3 miles, to Fort Bridger. And then we'll continue on to Utah. Ready?
Because you didn't always have
Mormon Trail.
a good cherry crop.
This is the Mormon Trail.
Oregon Trail.
Had to move away
Oregon
from
Trail.
there, which was also a beautiful place.
Cherokee
But
Trail.
We come back
Cherokee
here,
Trail.
my niece and
Carter Fruit
it's
Trail.
coming in pretty soon.
And that was the
She and I
family
were
that owned this
going
place.
to Riverton.
Overland Trail.
My nephew, her
Overland
brothers
Trail.
and Lander, and my cousin
California
passed.
Trail.
Anyway, we've been
California
coming
Trail.
Lincoln Highway.
the last 4 years, I think. It's our happy place.
Pony Express Trail.
Wyoming is.
Okay.
Well, it does make one happy.
Transcontinental Railroad.
Yes, it just,
Up
it's
there.
like, you can breathe here.
Kind of hard to see.
You can.
and then do all trails.
Politics in California is making
And you can
it
see
pretty
that all the
complicated.
trails, the California
Well,
Trail, the
I kinda
Oregon
enjoy
Trail,
politics
the
in
Overland
Wyoming,
Trail,
so
they all came
in
through
Utah and most everywhere
Fort Bridger.
nowadays is scary.
There's no information on this display. It's obviously a fossil. There's lots of fossils in the area, in the Wyoming area. But what drew my attention was two fossilized turtle shells. There's a photo of the front office and the little cabins that I videoed when we first got here. The little tourist cabins that were on the Lincoln Highway. You know, we just stopped here at this complex just because it was a good place to stop and I thought might be interesting, but it is super fascinating about how Jim Bridger came to this area where the tribes were to do trade, and then it passed through different hands, the military, the Mormons. Very cool. This is the blacksmith shop at Fort Bridger.
And then if you'll watch these strings,
The blacksmith's outside giving a presentation to the kids and
let's
school
go about
tour.
5 cranks each.
We just got into Utah and this is alongside a rest stop. Absolutely gorgeous. We didn't stop in Salt Lake City, but here's Salt Lake. We are still in Utah. We are west of Salt Lake. Off of 80, we pulled off on the Bonneville Salt Flats, which is where they have the Speedway and they hold land speed records. Looks like they might be having some kind of event actually at the Speedway, but we're just here along the road, and the Salt Flats go on forever. It's just hard-packed salt. We are driving on the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. We drove by and we decided to come in. They're having some kind of, they're having the World Finals this weekend. Today is just inspections. So we can just go out there to the Speedway and look around. Woohoo! Go faster, Dawn. Land speed record, come on! Right next to the Bonneville Salt Flats.